Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're building software or running a business here in the US right now, you need to pay attention because the rules of the game literally just changed. The AI model wars have completely reignited, and it is an all-out battle for speed, efficiency, and honestly, your budget. Today, we're looking at a brand new heavyweight disruptor, Grok 4.5, and putting it head-to-head against the reigning enterprise champion, Claude Opus 4.8.
So what if the absolute fastest coding AI out there could build you a whole app for the price of a burrito? I want you to picture something highly realistic and cinematic for a second. Imagine typing a single prompt and just watching a fully interactive 3D simulation of the solar system generate right before your eyes. We're talking moving planets, real orbits, even a control panel to speed up time. Or how about a crazy detailed playable 3D pirate ship game where you literally have to adjust the sails to catch the wind, complete with rolling waves, rainstorms, and AI-generated voice acting for your first mate. In the past, that would take a developer weeks. Today, an AI just built it in seconds.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the real shockwave hitting the tech world right now. It's not just the insane scale of what's being built, it's the cost. Almost a megabyte of handwritten 3D code costs less than a burrito. For our American audience, really think about that value proposition. We are talking about massive amounts of complex, functioning code, the kind of output that would traditionally cost thousands and thousands of dollars in human developer time, being generated flawlessly for around $8. This incredible level of output versus that ridiculously low cost, that is exactly what's grabbing the attention of every tech-savvy business out there.
All right, Section 1, the ultimate AI disruptor.
We are talking about a new heavyweight challenger born from a massive strategic partnership between SpaceX AI and the extremely popular coding tool Cursor. Grok 4.5 is a 1.5 trillion parameter workhorse. But here's the thing. The secret sauce isn't just its size, it's the training data. Because SpaceX AI acquired Cursor, they were able to train this model on massive amounts of real-world developer data. It has literally learned from watching actual software engineers build software from start to finish. It inherently knows how to solve problems, how to use tools creatively, and how to execute real coding workflows.
And because of that specific, highly targeted training, here is the number that is definitely keeping competitors awake at night. 4.2x. On specific complex coding benchmarks, Grok 4.5 is roughly 4.2 times more token efficient than its top competitors, like Claude Opus 4.8 running at max effort. So in plain English, it uses far fewer tokens, meaning far less effort and processing power to get the exact same job done. And for a business scaling their AI operations, fewer tokens just mean drastically lower server bills.
Plus, on top of being hyper-efficient, this thing is blisteringly fast. We're looking at speeds of around 80 tokens per second. This is what SpaceX AI calls flash model speed, but with actual flagship ambition. For a developer, this is a total game changer. You don't type a prompt and go grab a coffee anymore. You type a prompt and your idea comes to life almost immediately. Faster feedback loops mean you get more iterations per hour, which ultimately means you are shipping your product way faster.
Section 2, Grok versus Claude Opus.
Now, of course, no model exists in a vacuum. If you're building products right now, choosing between these two directly impacts your speed, your quality, and most importantly, your bottom line. Let's just break down the stark contrast in API pricing. Grok 4.5 sits at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens. Meanwhile, Claude Opus 4.8 is at $5 for input and a whopping $25 for output. It is instantly understandable how much budget a US business saves by using Grok for high-volume tasks. Paying Opus prices for tasks that Grok can easily handle, you're literally just leaving money on the table.
But let's look at the benchmarks impartially, right? On the DeepSuite 1.0 test, which is a highly respected coding evaluation, Grok 4.5 actually edges out Opus 4.8 Max, scoring 62% against Opus's 55.8%. However, and this is absolutely vital to note, they actively trade blows. If you look at other tests, like DeepSuite 1.1 for example, Opus takes the lead right back. So if anyone out there tells you one model permanently destroys the other across the board, just know they are cherry-picking the data.
Which brings us perfectly to why Claude Opus 4.8 remains the apex predator for specific environments. Opus completely excels at extreme reliability. It is purpose-built for multi-hour, unattended agent runs where you absolutely, positively cannot afford a production incident. It features dynamic workflow controls, and it's highly praised in high-stakes legal and financial verticals. When you need the AI to push back on bad code, be totally honest about what it doesn't know, and act as a true senior collaborator, Opus 4.8 is, for sure, still the gold standard.
Section 3. Architect versus construction crew.
Okay, this is probably the most crucial conceptual framework of our whole explainer today. Let's translate these complex AI workflows into a highly relatable analogy. Think of premium models like Claude Opus 4.8 or even Anthropic's massive Fable 5 as your architect. High cost, incredible logic, perfect for strategic planning and writing out the blueprint. Meanwhile, Grok 4.5 is your construction crew. Fast, budget-friendly, and absolutely perfect for executing the manual labor of writing the code based on that blueprint. The smartest developers aren't using the CEO to sweep the floors, right? They use the architect to plan and the construction crew to build.
And this brilliantly illustrates that exact hybrid approach in action. One developer used this method to build a massive, cinematic, 3D neon city right in the browser. We're talking sprawling botanical domes, precise artisanal shops, moving cranes at the docks, and a neon night market. Incredibly detailed stuff. But here is the secret. Fable 5 planned the city's overall architecture, setting the spec. But Grok 4.5 efficiently built every single Ferris wheel, skyscraper, and taxicab in JavaScript. As the quote perfectly captures, Fable never touched a district file, and Grok never saw the whole city. Over 1 million tokens of code, all generated for about $8.
Section 4. The global AI race. Because look, while Grok and Opus are battling it out, there are massive shifts happening simultaneously right now across the broader global AI landscape that you really need to be aware of. Here's your rapid-fire AI roundup. Meta just released its Muse image model, which actually opts in public Instagram posts by default for AI generation and remixing. A bit controversial, right? Meanwhile, ByteDance's launched Cream 5.0 Pro, which is creating highly stable, commercial-grade posters for roughly 4 cents an image, heavily challenging US dominance in visual AI. And OpenAI just dropped GPT Live, allowing you to actually interrupt and talk with ChatGPT in real time, making it feel less like a machine and incredibly close to a real human conversation.
But perhaps the most staggering global update is this absolutely massive number, 2.7 trillion. China's AI firm Minimax is reportedly prepping a 2.7 trillion parameter open-weight model. This seriously pushes the boundaries of autonomous AI, aiming for systems that can handle complex, multi-step operations without needing constant human handholding. The global race is accelerating, and the scale we are dealing with now is simply breathtaking.
Finally, Section 5. The winning hybrid strategy.
So what should you actually take away from all this? We've synthesized all the data, and it points to one clear, actionable conclusion for your business. Reiterate this to your teams tomorrow. There isn't just one winner. The smart play in 2026 is this 3-step hybrid approach. Step 1. Blueprint the hard architecture and the high-stakes logic with Claude Opus 4.8. Step 2. Hand that spec off to Grok 4.5 to do all the high-volume building, drafting, and coding. Step 3. Ship your product faster and cheaper than your competition. It is all about maximizing both your intelligence and your budget.
Which leaves us with one final provocative question. Which model will build your next big idea? The tools to create cinematic, highly realistic applications are now sitting right at your fingertips, cheaper and faster than ever before. Thank you guys so much for watching this explainer. If you found this breakdown easy to understand and valuable, please hit that like button. Drop a comment down below letting us know which model you plan to use, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss an update on the future of tech. Keep building, and we'll see you in the next one.